Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For this video, we are going on an adventure. We're taking chances, we're breaking the rules, we're trying something possibly insane. Recently, I was in my local bargain hunt. If you're not familiar with Bargain Hunt, it is a clearance liquidation store. They buy up stuff that stores didn't sell on clearance. They buy bulk cases of stuff that was left over at the end of the season and just wasn't moving. Then they turn around and sell it kind of cheap. I bought some pretty cool camping gear and they usually have some pretty interesting items on sale. They also have a food section. I've thought before in the past about trying to do an MRE at Bargain Hunt, but it's always been a challenge. I walked into the store and I told myself, I don't care what the rules are, I'm walking out of here with something that resembles an MRE. And I went on a hunt at the Bargain Hunt. What I walked out with is dubious at best. Some of the items in here were the last one left on the shelf. Some of them were in places they didn't belong. But I made sure that what I walked out with was as close to what I normally would build as an MRE as possible. So let me introduce to you the Dad Budget Adventures Homemade MRE Menu BH1. Now let me set that down. Before we go any further, let's talk about the rules because I want to see just how closely I was able to stick to the rules. So what are the rules? Now, other than the fact that for entertainment purposes only, I like to source everything in this kit from one source. In this case, that being Bargain Hunt. But rule number one is everything in here must be able to be eaten straight out of the package. The only exception to that is a drink mix or coffee or tea or something like that. Rule number two is everything in here must have at least a 1-year shelf life or best by date from the day that I buy it. Two reasons for that being that if I put this thing in storage for a year, I want to make sure that when I finally get around to eating it, that it's as fresh as can be expected. And the other side of that is it makes me work a little bit harder. And finally, rule number three is the menu. This MRE must have an entree, a side, a walking around snack, a dessert, and a beverage. Now, with that being out of the way, let's throw every bit of that away because, I had to bend rules. And I know some of y'all find that hard to believe because I'm a bit of a stickler for the rules to the point that I get a lot of people coming at me about it. But for this video, we're going to see how close we can stick to the rules, if at all. So let's tear into this bag. Let's see what's in this kit and how badly I butchered the rules. Remember folks, this is just for fun. This time around, my challenge was build an MRE or else. For our entree, I found something that I've been wanting to try for a while. The problem is that I've only been able to find it on Amazon and it's really expensive there. But what I did find this time around was the Good Beans Santa Fe Green Chili. I love New Mexico green chili, but to buy these things on Amazon, I think it works out to $6 or $7 a package, if I'm not mistaken. I got this for $1. But let's look at one of the issues that I kept running into at Bargain Hunt. This has a best by date of October of this year. So that leaves me about 2 months to eat this. We're gonna give it a shot, but as some of y'all keep telling me, that best by date don't mean nothing. It's a scam by Big Grocery to make you throw your stuff away and buy more from them. At least this one's still in date, but we couldn't keep it around for very long without having to double check and see what the likelihood is that it would still be good after that date. Now, because that is a vegetarian item, I looked around to see if I could find some kind of a meat product to put with it. And I did find something, and I really hope that not only that it's good, but that it works with the chili. What I picked up was the Swanson White Chunk Chicken Garlic and Herbs. The garlic I think would be fine. I feel like the herbs might detract a little bit from the chili, but this is what I was given to work with. And once again, it was only $1. Like its partner there, this one also has a very limited shelf life. This expires next month. But remember, we're gonna make an MRE at the Bargain Hunt. So before I go any further, let me get these in the trucker's lunchbox, get that stuff heating up so that we can make the best of what we've been given. Let's get back in here and see what else we've got. For our walking around snack, I found something that I'm not really sure exactly what I found. What I got was this Field Trip Spicy Apple Buffalo Style Chicken Bites. I'm not really sure what spicy apple is, and Buffalo Style always concerns me a little bit. Chicken bites. I'm guessing these are little chunks of chicken flavored like buffalo wings, but with a little bit of a spicy, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna give it a try. See what we got. This one's got an expiration date of December of this year, so once again, we're breaking the rules. And it was $2.99, which is a little more expensive than some of the other items that are in here, but I wanted to find something really unique to throw in here, and I stumbled across that and thought that would be perfect. Now this is a 2-serving pouch, depending on who you ask, it'd be 1 or 2 servings, but for the purposes of our dietary information, it's 2 servings. So the next thing we've got in here is our dessert. And for our dessert, I managed to pick up one of these Special K protein bars. Getting a little bit of extra protein with your meal is always a good idea. This one is chocolate and peanut butter. It has 12 grams of protein. So we're gonna get a little bit of a sweet dessert and a little dose of protein. For our beverage, y'all may remember a similar product that my kids got for me in my Father's Day MRE video. This is the Maxwell House Iced Latte Foam hazelnut flavor. This thing has some kind of a Pop Rocks kind of reaction thing so that when you mix it with water, it foams up. It's a really interesting concept. The IHOP stuff that we had with the Father's Day meal was really good, so we're gonna give this one a try, see how it turns out. Now the downside to this is this expires this month. Very short shelf life on that. Now, that is not everything that I picked up for this meal. I had not 1, but 2 bonus items to add to it, mostly just because I could. I had saved a little bit of money by buying super cheap items, and I came across a couple other things that I really wanted to throw in here. The first bonus item is a pack of these Bear Baked Crunchy coconut chips. Once again, I only spent $1 on this. It makes for a nice little walking around snack, and I am a big fan of coconut. I know coconut is one of those controversial things. A lot of people just really don't like it, and some people have a pretty severe allergy to it, but I really like it. And the other Bear products have turned out to be pretty good. This product expires in November of this year, so once again, limited shelf life. Now remember, we're buying things that other stores got rid of at the end of their season. So they're pretty much at the end of their life anyway when they hit those shelves. And finally, our last item in here, y'all saw me with a similar product in another video that cost a whole lot more than this. I picked up a pack of these Nudge coffee bombs. This is vanilla latte flavored, and I only paid $1.59 for this little tin. And there's a lot in this tin, but I think when I used these before, I paid close to $4 at Walmart for them. So $1.50. That's a bargain all day long. So this particular tin expires in December of this year. So we have nothing in here that meets rule number 2. Nothing's got enough of a best by date to include in one of these meals that we're gonna pack away and put in storage. But if we're building a meal for a road trip or a camping trip or something like that, all this stuff would be perfect for that. Let's just hope that the decision to buy food at Bargain Hunt doesn't come around to bite me in the butt. But with that being said, it's time to start trying things. Let's mix up our beverage, and then we're gonna start digging into some of this other food. Let's open up our Iced Latte Foam hazelnut flavor from Maxwell House. Very sweet smelling. Smells good though. It's very vanilla scented, and I can pick up on a little bit of coffee in there, but mostly it's vanilla and sweet. Let's get this in here. Get one of our bamboo sporks, give this a stir, and watch as it comes to life. You can see that foam forming on top. It mixes up really well. The coffee aroma is starting to come out a little bit more now that we've got water mixed in here, but I can tell that it's going to be very, very sweet. All right, let's set this aside, let it settle just a bit before we try it. So first off, let's try this spicy apple buffalo style chicken bites from Field Trip. Let's see what we've gotten into here. Let's pop this thing open and see what hits us in the face. So they smell good. They smell a lot like Slim Jim. It doesn't smell like buffalo or apple. It's very much, oh, wait a minute. There's that sweet hint of the apple that's coming off of it, but mostly it just smells like a Slim Jim. But they're in these little interesting looking squares. I'm not sure what part of the chicken comes shaped like that. It looks to me like the chicken is processed down and pressed into sheets, and then it's cut into these little squares. This reminds me a lot of Slim Jim, so let's give it a try, see if it's any good. Okay, so it's very tender, but it's also very, very dry. It's definitely processed. It just kind of comes apart after you take a bite. It's a little bit spicy. Mostly it just kind of hangs out at the back of your throat. The flavor is not terrible, but it's also not terribly exciting. I'm not sure that I would pay $2.99 to get these again, but if I found them for $1, I'd buy them. Now, according to the price tag, these would normally be valued at $5.99. So we're getting $3 off of it. If I paid $5.99 for this, I think I'd be a little put out with it. $3, not so bad, but it's not a terrific tasting snack. The fact that it's as dry as it is, it's a little off-putting. I would be curious to see if it's like that when it's fresh, or if it's just the fact that this is so close to the end of its life cycle that it's all dried out like that. I mean, it's edible. If you're hungry, it's going to be really good. But if you're just looking for something to munch on, I think you'd probably eat a couple pieces of these and be done. All right, let's give our iced latte a try. It's not very iced. It's just room temperature latte. Let's give this a try, see if it's any good. You can see the foam on top. You can clearly see the line of demarcation there. Cheers. So I think this is what it would taste like if Yoo-Hoo made a coffee drink. It's very watered down and thin, but it's sweet. It's got that coffee taste. It's got that vanilla taste. It's relatively refreshing. I mean, it's not a thirst quencher by any means, but it's a refreshing drink. You know, sitting around a campfire or something, kicking back with one of these, it wouldn't be half bad. Might be better with actual ice in it. We'll give that a try later. So while our entree is finishing up cooking away, let's give these Bear Baked Crunchy Coconut Chips a try. So one thing disappointing about this package is that there is not a Ziploc on it. So once it's open, it's open. We've gotten a lot of really good suggestions about throwing in a binder clip or something like that into the MREs. That way when you get something like this, if you don't finish it, you got something that'll hold it shut. It's a great idea. So the smell of the toasted coconut really comes out. It's a very pleasant smell. It's kind of like a Yankee Candle in a pouch. All right, let's give this a try. Let's see what we got here. I like that. They're very, very tender. When you first look at it, you think this is going to break my teeth when I bite into it. Absolutely does not. These are baked to the point where once you bite in, it just comes apart like a potato chip. These things right here would be really good as a topping. You can put these on just about anything as a topping and it would be good. I like that. That's got a great flavor to it. Not bad for $1. Let's give our other bonus item a try. We've got our Vanilla Latte Nudge Coffee Bombs. They look like little M&Ms. You know how sometimes chocolate and coffee kind of butt up against each other in the way they smell depending on how concentrated the chocolate is? That's what you get here. If you were just smelling it, you might not know that it was a coffee treat. You might just think that it's a really, really rich and concentrated chocolate. Smells really nice though. So let's get a couple of these. Give that a try. These are really good. The ones that I had before were good too, but I like those a lot. I don't pick up so much on vanilla as I do the coffee and chocolate. That's a nice little treat right there. Let's get us another swig of coffee to chase down the coffee. That's such an odd texture meets flavor thing for it to be that thin, but have that flavor to it. And I really think it needs to be either hot or iced because in between it's just a little weird. It's not that it's not enjoyable. I like it. I'm just not used to that. I'm a hot things hot, cold things cold kind of guy. So tepid, not really my thing. I can tolerate it for these purposes. All right, I think it's time to get our entree out and see what we've got and what we're gonna end up with when we mix that chicken in. Let's get out our very, very hot Santa Fe green chili. Shake it around a little bit. Make sure it's all mixed up. Let's tear the top off of this. For those of you who have questions about the trucker's lunchbox and how hot it gets, I couldn't tell you the temperature, but I can tell you it's hot enough to be uncomfortable to hang on to things. Ooh, that smells really nice. That green chili really comes out. A little bit of cumin, chili powder. Yeah, that's got a really good smell to it. Let me shift my grip a little bit. It keeps getting hot on me. All right, let's pour this into the bowl so that we can add our chicken to it. Before I put any chicken in it and potentially ruin it, let's give it a try by itself and see how this chili is as a vegetarian dish. It's got big chunks of those green chilies in there. Look at that. It's got beans, those big chunks of chili. That's really something. That looks really good. I'm glad I came across that. All right, let's give this a shot and see how it is. That's good. It's got some heat. I didn't expect it to bring quite that much heat. It really hit me on the back of my tongue. That's good stuff though. I like that. But lo, we cannot eat it like this. We bought the chicken to go with it. Let's make it into a carnivore dish. Let's get out this garlic and herbs white chunk chicken from Swanson. And let's see if we made a good decision. It doesn't look terrible for pouch chicken. It's got some substance to it. It's not complete mush. This is one of those things that is pleasant smelling and unpleasant smelling at the same time. I'm not sure how that happens. It doesn't smell awful. It's not that typical cat food smell that you often get with these things. And I think it's because of the garlic and herbs that's in it is kind of coming on strong, but it doesn't smell bad. But let's get a bite of this I mean, we could always eat this separately if it doesn't really go with the tone of that chili. But let's give that a try and see what we've got here. That's surprisingly not half bad. I think it'll go fine with the chili. There's more of the garlic, less of the herb flavor, so I think it's gonna work. So let's mix this in and let's make some chicken chili. Vegetarian dishes are so readily available when it comes to these pouch style meals, but as you can see, it doesn't take much to take a vegetarian dish and turn it into a carnivore meal. It's a little bit of extra effort, but nothing substantial. So don't be hating just because they've got a vegetarian dish. Just consider it to be the vegetables in your dinner. All right, let's stir this all up, get it mixed in nice. And there we are. We have Santa Fe green chili with chicken. Boy, that heat, it hits me every time. But this works. This absolutely works. It's spicy. If you're not a spicy food person, stay away from this. This is going to light you up. I like spicy food. I'm not into overly spicy stuff, but I like a little heat in my food. This is lighting me up, but it's really, really good. This chicken chili we just created here, that dog will hunt. Yeah, I'd do this again. If you put a bowl of this in front of somebody and didn't tell them where it came from, I don't know that they would immediately think that this came out of a couple of pouches. I think they would just eat it, be happy with it, as long as they like spicy food, and they would just be sitting there with a full belly and a smile on their face. All right, we'll set that aside, cleanse the palate a little, because we have one more thing to try. As I open up this package with our Special K chocolate peanut butter protein bar, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification bell to be made aware of all upcoming videos. We've got some really fun stuff coming up. I've been very fortunate since the channel has started to take off that I've got a number of companies reaching out to me about trying out their products. So on Wednesdays, I've been dropping some product review videos. Occasionally I'll drop a camping video, but Sundays right now are just for MREs. So as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making. And if you have suggestions for places that I need to try out, as I've said a million times before, I may not have it in my area, but I do tend to travel a lot. And while I'm traveling, I'm always looking for places that I haven't been to look for MREs. All right, let's give this thing a try. See how our decision to buy a box of protein bars off the top shelf of a section where it didn't even belong, see if that was a wise choice. It's got a good chocolate smell. Not really picking up on peanut butter, just chocolate, but let's give it a go. That's not bad as far as protein bars go. Now, one thing that I do know is that brands like Special K and other similar brands do put a lot more sugar in these to make them taste better. If you're looking for things that are a little more keto friendly or carb friendly, this is not the brand to go with. But here's the thing. I don't like regular protein bars. The less sugar they've got in them, the less tolerable they are for me. I don't know what that says about me, but my taste buds are very sensitive. When I'm eating things where they've crammed a bunch of protein in just to put in more protein, that kind of overrides my taste buds and makes me not want to eat it. So I find these are a little bit more tolerable for me, but if you can't handle the sugar, find a brand that works for you. Let's wash that down. Peanut butter's getting stuck. All right, so that is it for this rather questionable MRE from Bargain Hunt. I want to take a second to thank everybody who has been watching these videos, commenting on the videos, helping that algorithm get this channel to 20,000 subscribers. We hit that mark this week, and I am continually blown away by your responses. The positive feedback that you guys continue to pour on me just makes me want to keep doing this. I am so proud of everything that we as a community have made happen. But until the next video, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. We'll see you around.